The night shift at Earth's Deep Space Monitoring Station was usually quiet. Most operators spent their time watching screens filled with endless streams of data, drinking coffee, and occasionally checking the automated alerts. But tonight was different. Tom Parker's eyes widened as he stared at his monitor. He blinked hard and looked again, making sure he wasn't seeing things after his sixth cup of coffee. The readings were still there, growing stronger with each passing second. "Dr. Miller," Tom called out, his voice cracking slightly. "You need to see this." Dr. James Miller walked over from his small office, where he had been reviewing quantum field equations. He was a tall man with graying hair and warm brown eyes that had seen too many sleepless nights. As the lead physicist at the station, he had learned to tell the difference between genuine emergencies and false alarms. "What have you got, Tom?" he asked, leaning over the operator's shoulder. "Look at these gravitational readings from Sector 7, Tom said, pointing to the rapidly changing numbers on his screen. "They're off the charts, and they're getting stronger." Dr. Miller's expression changed from mild interest to deep concern. He quickly typed in several commands, bringing up additional data streams. The more he looked, the more his hands began to shake. "Get me a direct line to the Galactic Council," he ordered, his voice steady despite his growing worry. "And wake up Dr. Thompson. We're going to need her expertise on this." Within an hour, the monitoring station's main conference room was packed. Dr. Anna Thompson, Earth's leading expert on gravity waves, stood next to Dr. Miller as they faced the holographic projections of the Galactic Council representatives. The aliens' various forms flickered in the dim light, some tall and slender, others short and bulky, but all wearing expressions of growing horror as they reviewed the data. "This is unprecedented," the Council's chief scientist declared, his crystalline form shimmering with anxiety. "The readings suggest a micro-black hole, but its behavior pattern is unlike anything we've ever recorded. It's on a direct course for your solar system. We recommend immediate evacuation procedures," another council member added, their tentacles waving in agitation. "The gravitational forces will tear your system apart. You have perhaps 18 months before impact." But Dr. Miller wasn't listening to their warnings anymore. His attention was fixed on a peculiar pattern in the energy readings, something that didn't fit with standard black hole physics. He nudged Dr. Thompson and pointed to the anomaly. "Anna, look at this wavelength pattern," he whispered. "Does that look normal to you?" Dr. Thompson's eyes narrowed as she studied the data. "That's impossible," she muttered. "Black holes don't emit energy signatures like that. It's almost as if it's responding to something." Dr. Miller finished her thought. While the council members continued their urgent discussion about evacuation plans, Dr. Miller walked to the main display and enlarged the anomalous readings. "Distinguished council members," he interrupted, "I believe there's something else going on here. Look at these energy patterns." The council fell silent as they examined the data. "Those readings are clearly incorrect," the chief scientist declared. "No black hole behaves this way. Your instruments must be malfunctioning." "Our instruments are working perfectly." Dr. Thompson stepped forward. "What we're seeing is real, and it might be the key to understanding this phenomenon. We need time to study it." "Study it?" A council member's hologram flickered with incredulity. "The only sensible response is to evacuate. This sector will become uninhabitable." Dr. Miller shared a knowing look with Dr. Thompson. They both recognized that humanity had stumbled upon something unprecedented, a discovery that could either doom them or lead to their greatest breakthrough. "We request 48 hours to conduct initial studies before any evacuation orders are issued," Dr. Miller stated firmly. The council erupted in protests, but Earth's representatives stood firm. As the arguments continued, Dr. Miller turned back to the data streams, his mind already racing with possibilities. In the face of what could be humanity's greatest threat, he saw something else, an opportunity that none of the other species had even considered. The black hole that terrified the galaxy might just be the key to humanity's next great leap forward. They just had to figure out how to prove it. The basement lab of the Earth Science Center hummed with activity at 3 in the morning. Dr. Miller hadn't slept in 36 hours, but his eyes were bright as he stared at the simulation running on the giant screen before him. Empty coffee cups littered his desk, and his white lab coat was wrinkled from too many hours of wear. "Run it again," he told the computer. "Adjust the gravity wave frequency by 0.03. Dr. Thompson walked in, carrying 2 fresh cups of coffee. Her usually neat blonde hair was messy, and dark circles showed under her eyes. "The Galactic Council is getting impatient," she said, handing him one of the cups. "They're demanding we start evacuation procedures by tomorrow." "They don't see what we're seeing," Dr. Miller replied, taking a sip of the hot coffee. "Look at this." He pointed to a series of waves on the screen. "Normal black holes absorb everything, right? But this one is different. It's singing." "Singing?" Dr. Thompson raised an eyebrow. "Yes, singing. Look at these energy patterns. They're rhythmic, almost like pulses, and when we send out gravity waves at certain frequencies." He typed quickly, and a new simulation appeared. "Watch this." The simulation showed the black hole's energy field shifting slightly in response to the gravity waves. Dr. Thompson leaned forward, her tiredness forgotten. "That's impossible," she whispered. "Black holes don't react to external forces like that." "Exactly." Dr. Miller's voice rose with excitement. Unless we're not dealing with a normal black hole at all. What if it's artificial?" The word hung in the air between them. An artificial black hole. The very idea seemed absurd. Yet the evidence was right there on their screens. "If it's artificial," Dr. Thompson said slowly, "then someone made it. But who? And why?" Before Dr. Miller could answer, their lab's communication screen lit up. The stern face of the Galactic Council's chief scientist appeared. "Dr. Miller." "Dr. Thompson," he said, his crystalline features glittering with anger. "Your delay is putting billions of lives at risk. You must begin evacuation immediately." "Chief Scientist." Dr. Miller stepped forward. "We've made a breakthrough. This black hole, it's not natural. It's responding to our gravity wave tests in ways that should be impossible." "Nonsense," the alien scientist scoffed. "Black holes are forces of nature. They cannot be controlled or influenced." "Then explain this." Dr. Thompson sent their latest data. "Look at the energy patterns. They're perfectly regular. Too regular to be natural." The chief scientist fell silent as he studied the data. For a moment, his crystalline form flickered with what might have been uncertainty. "Even if you're right," he said finally, "it changes nothing. Natural or artificial, that black hole will destroy your solar system. You have no way to stop it." "Actually," Dr. Miller smiled, "we might. If it's artificial, it was made to be controlled. We just need to figure out how." The alien scientist's face hardened. "The Galactic Council's decision is final. Begin evacuation, or we will quarantine your entire system." After the communication ended, Dr. Miller turned to Dr. Thompson. "We need to work faster," he said. "If we can prove our theory." "The whole lab is with you," she replied. "The engineering team is already designing new gravity wave emitters based on our calculations, but we'll need more power than Earth has ever generated before." Dr. Miller nodded, turning back to his simulations. "Then we'll build bigger generators. The Council sees this black hole as a force of destruction, but we know better now. It's not just a weapon or a threat. It's a key to understanding gravity itself." As the first light of dawn crept through the lab's small windows, the two scientists continued their work. They had 17 months to solve an impossible puzzle, with the fate of Earth hanging in the balance. But for the first time since the black hole's discovery, they had something powerful on their side. They had hope. The massive construction platforms floating in Earth's orbit looked like giant metal spiders weaving a web around the planet. Thousands of workers in spacesuits moved between the structures, assembling the largest machines humanity had ever built. Commander David Wells stood at the observation window of Space Station Alpha, watching another gravity wave emitter take shape. Each emitter was the size of a small city, its silver-white surface gleaming in the sunlight. They had built 6 so far. They needed 20. "Status report," he said into his comm unit. "Emitter 7 is at 60% completion." A voice replied. "We're ahead of schedule, sir. The new automated construction units are working better than expected." Wells nodded, though his face remained serious. They had 15 months left before the black hole reached their solar system. The Project Prometheus deadline was getting closer every day. Down in the station's main control room, Dr. Miller and Dr. Thompson were running another test. The 6 completed emitters hummed to life, sending invisible waves of gravitational force into space. "Power output at maximum," Dr. Thompson announced, her fingers flying over the control panel. "Targeting the test drone." A small drone floated 10,000 kilometers away. As the gravity waves hit it, its path began to curve slightly. On their screens, the energy readings spiked. "It's working." Dr. Miller leaned forward, his eyes bright with excitement. "The drone's trajectory changed by exactly the amount we predicted. The emitters are performing perfectly." But their celebration was cut short by a new alarm. The main screen lit up with multiple incoming ships. The Galactic Council's observation fleet had arrived. "They're demanding to inspect our facilities," Commander Wells said as he entered the control room. "They think we're building weapons." "In a way we are," Dr. Thompson replied quietly. "Just not the kind they imagine." The alien ships hung in space like glittering jewels, their designs far more advanced than anything Earth had built before. A transmission came through on the main channel. "Earth Command." A stern voice said, "Your activities violate Council safety protocols. These structures you're building could destabilize the entire sector." Commander Wells stepped forward. "With all due respect, Council observer, we're within our rights. These are defensive installations, permitted under Article 7 of the Galactic Charter." "Defensive?" The alien's voice carried a note of disbelief. "You're facing a black hole. There is no defense against such a force." Dr. Miller joined the conversation. "That's where you're wrong. We've made progress. The gravity wave network is already operational at 30% capacity. We can demonstrate." "No demonstrations." The observer cut him off. "Your reckless experiments end now. The Council has voted. Either dismantle these structures or face immediate quarantine." The control room fell silent. Commander Wells looked at Dr. Miller and Dr. Thompson, then back at the screen. When he spoke, his voice was firm. "Observer, we acknowledge your warning, but we will not stop. Earth has chosen its path." After the transmission ended, Dr. Thompson turned to her computer. "New data from the long-range sensors," she said. "The black hole's energy pattern has changed again. It's responding to our tests." Dr. Miller rushed to look at the readings. "These patterns, they're even clearer now. It's not just responding. It's resonating with our gravity waves." Commander Wells watched the scientists work, his face thoughtful. Outside the window, construction continued. The alien ships kept their distance, watching. "How long until the next emitter is ready?" he asked. 3 days, Dr. Thompson replied. "But we're going to need all 20 to generate enough power for what we're planning." Wells nodded. "Then we keep building. The Council can watch all they want. We'll show them what humanity can do." As the day shift changed to night, the work continued. In the vast darkness of space, the web of gravity wave emitters grew larger, while billions of kilometers away, an artificial black hole continued its approach, its mystery still waiting to be unlocked. Red warning lights flashed across every screen in Space Station Alpha's control room. The black hole had just entered the outer solar system, and its effects were already terrifying to witness. "Pluto observation post destroyed," a technician reported, his voice shaking. "The gravitational forces tore it apart in seconds." Commander Wells stood at the center of the chaos, his face lit by the emergency lights. "Distance to Neptune?" he asked. "3 weeks at current speed," someone answered. "The alien observation fleet has already retreated to safe distance." Dr. Miller and Dr. Thompson worked frantically at their stations. All 20 gravity wave emitters were now complete, forming a massive web around Earth. They were humanity's only hope. "Power up the network," Dr. Miller ordered. "Full capacity on all emitters." The huge machines hummed to life. In space, waves of invisible force reached out toward the approaching disaster. On their screens, they could see the black hole's energy patterns shifting. "It's working," Dr. Thompson shouted. "The black hole's trajectory is changing by 0.3 degrees. But their success was short-lived. The main screen lit up with an emergency transmission from the Galactic Council. "You fools." The chief scientist's crystalline form vibrated with anger. "Your gravity waves are making it worse. The black hole's energy output has doubled." Dr. Miller checked his readings. The alien was right, but not in the way he thought. "No," he said quietly. "It's not getting worse. It's responding, just like we predicted." Before he could explain, another alarm blared. The black hole had just consumed one of Neptune's smaller moons. The giant blue planet's orbit was already starting to distort. "All civilian ships evacuated from the outer system," Commander Wells reported. "But we're getting pressure from every alien world in the sector. They're demanding we shut down the gravity wave network." Dr. Thompson looked up from her calculations. "If we shut down now, we lose everything. The black hole will continue on its original path straight to Earth. We have to keep going." The room shook as a gravitational wave passed through the station. Outside, they could see the stars shifting position as space itself bent around them. "Council emergency broadcast on all channels," a communications officer announced. The main screen filled with multiple alien faces, the full Galactic Council in emergency session. Their species were different, but their expressions all showed the same mix of fear and anger. "Humanity has gone too far," the council leader declared. "Your experiments threaten the entire sector. By unanimous vote, we are implementing an immediate quarantine. Any human vessel attempting to leave your solar system will be destroyed." Commander Wells stepped forward. "With respect, council leaders, we're in the middle of the most important test in human history. Our gravity wave network has failed." Another council member interrupted. "We've seen the data. The black hole grows stronger. Your weapons only feed it more power. Shut down your network and evacuate while you still can." "No." Dr. Miller's quiet voice cut through the argument. Everyone turned to look at him. "You're all seeing what you expect to see. A weapon, a disaster, a force of destruction. But we've discovered something else." He sent them new data, complex patterns in the black hole's energy field that matched their gravity wave frequencies perfectly. "It's not random," he explained. "These patterns are too precise. The black hole isn't just responding to our gravity waves, it's communicating through them." The council chamber erupted in shocked discussions. On the screens monitoring the outer solar system, they could see the black hole's approach continuing. They had less than 3 weeks before it reached Neptune's orbit. "Dr. Miller," Commander Wells said quietly, "whatever you and Dr. Thompson are planning, now would be a good time to make it work." The two scientists shared a determined look. Years of research, months of construction, and humanity's future all came down to what they would do next. "Begin final sequence," Dr. Miller ordered. "Full power to all emitters. It's time to see what this thing really is." Neptune's largest moon, Triton, broke apart as the black hole passed nearby. On Space Station Alpha's main screen, the pieces of the moon spiraled inward, creating a beautiful but terrifying light show as they disappeared into the darkness. Dr. Miller barely noticed. His eyes were fixed on the energy pattern readings coming from their gravity wave network. "There's a pattern here," he muttered. "It's like it's trying to match our frequency." Dr. Thompson worked at her own station, running simulation after simulation. Her eyes suddenly widened. "James," she called out, "look at this. If we reverse the polarity of emitters 7 through 12. She sent the simulation to his screen. Dr. Miller's tired face lit up with sudden understanding. "Of course," he whispered. "It's not just about pushing against it. It's about working with it." Commander Wells walked over, his uniform wrinkled from too many hours on duty. "Talk to me, doctors. What have you found?" "The black hole isn't fighting our gravity waves," Dr. Thompson explained. "It's trying to sync with them, like two dancers finding the same rhythm. And if we match its frequency perfectly," Dr. Miller added, "we might be able to do more than just push it around. We might be able to harness its energy." A new alarm sounded. The black hole's approach had accelerated. They now had less than 2 weeks before it reached Uranus. "Whatever you're planning," Commander Wells said, "do it fast. The Council fleet is gathering near Mars. They're threatening to destroy our emitter network if we don't shut it down." Dr. Miller nodded and turned to his team. "Reconfigure emitters 7 through 12. Reverse polarity and match the black hole's base frequency. Dr. Thompson, help me calculate the resonance pattern." The next 12 hours were a blur of activity. Engineers worked frantically to adjust the massive machines in space. The gravity wave network hummed with new energy as they changed its output. Then something unexpected happened. Energy spike. A technician shouted. "The black hole. It's changing shape." On their screens, they watched in amazement as the perfectly round black disk began to elongate. The gravity waves from their emitters weren't just affecting its course anymore. They were reshaping it. "Look at the space around it," Dr. Thompson said excitedly. "It's not just bending light. It's creating a controlled gravitational lens." Dr. Miller's hands flew over his control panel. "If we can maintain this pattern, yes, the energy readings are stabilizing. It's not just a destructive force anymore. It's becoming a tool." The main screen suddenly filled with urgent transmissions from the alien fleet. "Your actions violate all known laws of physics," the Council's chief scientist declared. "This is impossible." "No," Dr. Miller replied calmly. "Not impossible. We just needed to understand what it really was. This black hole wasn't a natural disaster heading for Earth. It was a test." "A test?" Commander Wells asked. "Yes. Think about it. Its approach was too perfect, its behavior too regular. Someone created this black hole and sent it toward Earth, not to destroy us, but to see what we do with it." Dr. Thompson's computer beeped with new data. "Energy patterns are matching perfectly now. James, I think we can do more than just control it. Look at these readings. We could use it for faster than light travel." The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity hadn't just found a way to survive. They'd discovered something that would change everything. "Send the data to the Council," Commander Wells ordered. "Show them exactly what we've achieved." As the information went out, Dr. Miller and Dr. Thompson shared a triumphant look. Above them, the 20 gravity wave emitters continued their careful dance with the black hole, turning what was once the galaxy's greatest terror into humanity's greatest discovery. The breakthrough wasn't just about controlling a black hole. It was proof that humanity's greatest strength was seeing possibilities where others saw only threats. The black hole hung near Mars' orbit like a dark eye staring at Earth. The Galactic Council's fleet surrounded it in a wide circle, their ships keeping a safe distance. But humanity's gravity wave network stayed locked in place, 20 massive emitters working in perfect harmony. "All systems ready," Dr. Thompson announced from her station. "The resonance pattern is stable." Commander Wells looked around the control room. Every person present knew this moment would either make history or end it. "Begin the demonstration," he ordered. Dr. Miller nodded and activated the new control sequence they had programmed. Initiating Phase 1. Creating controlled gravitational lens. The gravity wave emitters pulsed with new energy. On their screens, they watched as the black hole responded. Its shape changed, stretching and bending until it formed a perfect oval. Phase 1 successful, Dr. Thompson reported. Moving to Phase 2. Preparing micro-wormhole generation. The alien fleet's sensors must have detected what they were attempting. The main screen lit up with urgent messages. Stop this madness, the council leader demanded. You cannot create stable wormholes. The energy requirements alone would tear your system apart. Watch us, Commander Wells replied calmly. Dr. Miller, proceed. Dr. Miller's fingers danced across his control panel, synchronizing gravity waves. Now, the black hole's center began to glow with impossible light. Space itself bent and twisted around it, forming patterns that human mathematics had only theorized about until now. Micro-wormhole forming, Dr. Thompson announced. Quantum stability at 97%. It's working. They had practiced this next part for weeks. A small probe, no bigger than a car, moved into position near the controlled black hole. Its mission was simple but revolutionary: to pass through the micro-wormhole they had created. Probe approaching entry point, the flight control officer reported. Distance, 1,000 kilometers, 500, 100. Everyone held their breath as the probe reached the edge of the distorted space. For a moment, it seemed to stretch impossibly long, then vanished in a flash of light. Probe status, Commander Wells demanded. Dr. Thompson checked her readings. Signal is stable. The probe is transmitting from the other side. It's exactly where we aimed it, in orbit around Jupiter. The room erupted in cheers. They had done it, used the black hole to create a stable passage through space. The journey that would normally take months had happened in seconds. Impossible. The Council's chief scientist whispered on the main screen. You've achieved controlled quantum tunneling through a gravitational lens. This technology, it changes everything. That's not all, Dr. Miller said. He brought up new readings on the main display. The energy output from the black hole during the transfer. We can harness it. This single controlled micro-wormhole generated enough power to run every city on Earth for a year. The implications were clear. Humanity hadn't just found a way to travel faster than light. They'd discovered an almost unlimited power source. Prepare for Phase 3, Commander Wells ordered. Let's show them the full extent of what we can do. Dr. Miller and Dr. Thompson began the final sequence. All 20 emitters powered up to maximum, their gravity waves perfectly synchronized with the black hole's energy patterns. Phase 3 initiating, Dr. Thompson announced. Creating controlled spatial gateway in 3, 2, 1. The black hole's shape changed one final time. What was once a simple oval now became a complex geometric pattern of light and darkness, a doorway to anywhere in the galaxy they wanted to go. As the Council fleet watched in stunned silence, humanity prepared to demonstrate that the force they had feared most had become their greatest achievement. The same black hole that had terrified the galaxy was now the key to its future. 1 month after humanity's successful demonstration, Space Station Alpha had become the busiest place in the solar system. Ships from every species in the Galactic Council arrived daily, carrying scientists eager to learn from the humans who had achieved the impossible. Dr. Miller stood at his familiar spot by the observation window, but now he watched alien vessels peacefully docking instead of fleeing in terror. The controlled black hole hung in space like a beautiful dark jewel, surrounded by the gravity wave network that had changed everything. The latest energy readings are incredible, Dr. Thompson said, walking up beside him with her tablet. The power output is stable, and the micro-wormhole network is growing more efficient every day. Commander Wells joined them, looking more relaxed than he had in months. The Council's Science Division just approved our proposal, he announced. We're getting funding to build 5 more gravity wave networks in other systems. And to think they wanted to evacuate our entire solar system just 2 months ago, Dr. Miller said with a small smile. Now they're calling Earth the center of scientific advancement in the galaxy. Through the window, they could see a team of human and alien engineers working together on a new, improved emitter design. The sight of so many different species cooperating would have been unthinkable before the crisis. "The council leader is requesting permission to dock," a voice announced over the station's comm system. "They're here for the official ceremony." The three of them made their way to the station's main conference room, which had been prepared for this historic moment. The walls that had once displayed emergency warnings now showed real-time data from the controlled black hole and the growing network of stable wormholes it powered. When the council leader entered, followed by representatives from 20 different alien species, they didn't show any of their former fear or doubt. Instead, they looked at the humans with newfound respect. "Dr. Miller, Dr. Thompson," the council leader began, "your achievement has forced us to reconsider everything we thought we knew about space, time, and energy. But more importantly, it has taught us something about humanity itself." Dr. Miller raised an eyebrow. "What's that?" "That your species' greatest strength is not your technology or your science, but your ability to see opportunity where others see only danger. When we told you to run, you stayed to study. When we said something was impossible, you proved it could be done." Commander Wells stepped forward. "We're just glad we could turn a potential disaster into something that benefits everyone." Indeed. The council leader activated a holographic display showing the growing network of controlled wormholes spreading across the galaxy. "Already, your discovery has cut travel times between systems from years to minutes. The energy crisis that threatened a dozen of worlds has been solved. And this is just the beginning." Dr. Thompson looked at the display with pride. "The black hole wasn't just a test of our scientific knowledge," she said. "It was a test of our character as a species. Would we run from what we didn't understand, or try to understand it?" "And now," Dr. Miller added, "that understanding is leading us to new discoveries every day. The gravity wave network isn't just controlling the black hole anymore. It's teaching us things about the universe we never imagined." The ceremony that followed was brief but meaningful. Earth was officially recognized as the leading center for gravitational physics and wormhole technology in the galaxy. The human scientists who had faced ridicule and threats just months ago were now being asked to lead training programs for alien researchers. As the day ended, Dr. Miller, Dr. Thompson, and Commander Wells stood once more at the observation window. The controlled black hole continued its stable dance with their gravity wave network, no longer a source of terror, but a gateway to humanity's greatest adventure. "So," Commander Wells asked, "what impossible thing should we try to achieve next?" Dr. Miller and Dr. Thompson shared a knowing look. They had already seen the new patterns in the black hole's energy field, patterns that hinted at even greater discoveries waiting to be made. The force that had once terrified the galaxy had become humanity's key to unlocking the universe's deepest secrets. And they were just getting started.